This morning, we have a very special edition of Money Watch. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger is launching a new video and audio podcast called Money Moves with Jill Schlesinger. Twice a week, Jill and her producer and co-host, Mark Talercio, will answer questions from listeners. They'll offer advice to help you make the best financial decisions. And they'll challenge some of the money myths that you hear online or from family and friends that we grew up with. Dollar Jill is here right now. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so you say this podcast. Yeah,
Thank
congrats.
you.
Definitely. Congrats first and foremost. You say this podcast for people who want to take control of their financial lives while having a little fun along the way.
Yeah, because that is what this is all about. I mean, I don't want anyone to live like a monk and be stuck saying, I'm saving and all I can do is save. And of course, you guys know I love saving and investing, but I think there's a nice marriage of doing that, but also enjoying yourself along the way. You know, when we do segments here, there's a couple, 3 minutes. The joy of this show is that for around 20 minutes, we get to cover whatever's going on in that day or that week and also be able to talk to people live and answer their questions in real time, which is so much fun.
There's a lot out in the world about finance and money. You're trying to sort of cut through that for people. How do you suggest that they figure out what's real and what's not when it comes to their money?
Well, first of all, they should definitely send us anything they see online, because what we know is that there are this group of people, they call themselves finfluencers, financial influencers, and they're all over social media, and they're telling you, like, get rich quick, or they're selling you a system. And what we want to do is we want to say, hey, some of the advice online is legitimate. There are really fabulous credentialed people, but the vast majority, these are sales pitches. These are people who are trying to separate you from your dollar. Sometimes it's just a sale, but sometimes it's actually dangerous. We ran across people who are saying, oh, you should borrow all this money so you can buy real estate. There's no downside. There's always downside. And of course, if it's too good to be true, it usually is. I think what we have in this show is the ability to also bring together the generations. Now, we've talked about this a ton on this show, where we'll hear from somebody who will say, hey, my kid is such a lackard and not saving. But I think that there's a real lack of appreciation for how different the economy is right now for 20s, 30s, young 40s than it was for someone who's in their 50s or 60s. And Vlad, I think you understand this, that so often we're lucky in our situations. Like if you happened to be born and it was a huge bull market, and that's great and fantastic, but if you've come of age during the pandemic where the labor market's changing, sometimes the advice you're getting from those older folks may not be relevant to you.
That's right. So let's get a reality check on some of that outdated advice that people might be getting. And this actually sort of applies to a lot of people, including myself, where my wife, I remember her saying, you know, you've been renting your whole life. We got to buy. Renting is just throwing your money away. Is that outdated now?
I think it is. I think that it does not take into account the fact that house prices have basically doubled over the last 5 or 6 years. Mortgage rates have doubled. Homeowners insurance has gone up. Taxes have gone up. For a lot of people, it's really difficult to make the choice to buy. Even if you can afford the payments, you're tying up a whole bunch of money in a house. That money could be growing for you, invested, giving you opportunity. All of these things are really important. And of course, I'm always about running the numbers. I'm not saying you shouldn't buy. I'm just saying to give that advice to someone starting out or someone who's not in a position can really be detrimental to their forward progress. I'm all about forward progress. Man, I think the best thing about saving and investing is about being able to have opportunity. This show is a great opportunity for me. I'm very grateful for it. But it's also an opportunity for me to say, hey, I'm a certified financial planner. It is time for me to impart the wisdom to the younger generation and also call out my cohorts, my oldsters.
That's right.
And say, come on now, let's go.
All right, Jill Schlesinger. Hey, I appreciate you. You know what? I like Dollar Jill, but I'm going to give you a new nickname.
Yeah.
Cardi J, because you're making money moves.
Oh, yes.
Money Moves with Jill Schlesinger. It drops every Tuesday and Thursday. Scan the QR code on your screen to subscribe wherever you like to listen to your podcast. And you can watch it on YouTube.